Welcome to Travel Curiosities. Today, I want to take you on a special itinerary, perfect for those looking for a fresh start, for anyone who simply wants a different kind of trip, or for anyone dreaming of enjoying their retirement in an exotic place without giving up the sound of the Italian language. In fact, there are destinations that, for historical or cultural reasons, treasure our language like a precious jewel. You can feel close to home, even when you're on the other side of the world. Before we begin, I want to ask you a direct question. What is your greatest wish? Moving to a place where our language is spoken, or just visiting distant lands that feel familiarly welcoming? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to support the channel, leave a like and subscribe right away. Thanks to your support, we can continue exploring the world in search of curiosities and practical tips for anyone wishing to broaden their horizons. Once, Switzerland. Just across the border from the peninsula, there's a place that combines Swiss efficiency with the warmth of Italian. In the canton of Ticino, our language is not just an official means of communication, but an integral part of the local identity. Clean streets, highly punctual public transport, and impeccable organization provide an almost perfect setting. Nature also does its part. Crystal clear mountain lakes, lush forests, and majestic peaks surround well-kept towns like Lugano and Bellinzona. Of course, there is a flip side. The cost of living is among the highest in the world and can challenge anyone without a solid income. Obtaining a residence permit also requires time and patience, especially from a bureaucratic standpoint. However, for those seeking the perfect blend of order and the taste of home, this territory is a precious gem. 2. Argentina. If you're craving a radical change and a burst of Latin passion, Argentina is known for having inherited a piece of Italy in many of its neighborhoods. Walking through Buenos Aires, you'll often come across dialects and expressions reminiscent of our country, or find surnames of unmistakable Italian origin. Warm hospitality, cultural richness, and vast landscapes, from Patagonia to Iguazu Falls, make Argentina an exciting and varied destination. However, you have to deal with an unstable economy. The local currency can undergo unpredictable devaluation, and inflation is a constant challenge. Having savings in euros or dollars can make the difference for a comfortable life, but it takes mental flexibility to adapt to the changes. The strength of this country lies in the proud spirit of its people, the incredible food, an inheritance from Italian and Spanish immigration, and the endless opportunities to travel among spectacular natural locations. 3. Australia. On the other side of the planet, Australia exerts a unique fascination. The mix of cutting-edge cities, postcard-perfect beaches, and the large Italian community that particularly populates Melbourne and Sydney creates a continuity bridge with our roots. Quality of life is famously high. There is a strong focus on well-being, safety, and an advanced healthcare system. The real challenge for those who choose to settle here is the distance, because visiting Italy becomes a costly endeavor in terms of both time and money, with over 20 hours of flight between the two continents. Plus, you have to keep an eye on the cost of living in major cities, where rents and services are far from cheap. Nevertheless, if you're looking for a place to feel new, but never alone, thanks to the exuberance of the Italian community, Australia could become your second home. 4. Canada. Dreamlike landscapes, multicultural cities, and a social organization focused on quality services. Canada often tops rankings for quality of life. Some cities like Montreal have housed a strong Italian community for decades, one that has integrated while preserving traditions and language. Here, you can enjoy an environment where European influences blend with North American ones, featuring festivals, artistic events, and special attention to linguistic minorities. Winter can be a hurdle. Temperatures drop well below zero with heavy snowfall, but Canadians make up for it with impeccable efficiency. Obtaining permanent residence is not a quick process, requiring specific qualifications and sometimes lengthy bureaucratic steps. Those who love snowy landscapes, immense forests, and a value system based on respect for diversity will find a safe haven in Canada. 5. Uruguay. Often considered a small paradise for stability and quality of life, Uruguay is a peaceful country that frequently surprises visitors. Montevideo, its capital, offers an almost European feel. Orderly streets, a relaxed pace of life, and a migratory past that led many Italians to leave a tangible mark on the area. You can find urban beaches along the Rio de la Plata and a slightly retro charm that captivates the heart. Here, costs are generally lower than in many Western nations, and the requirements for obtaining residence permits can be simpler. It's a place suitable for those fleeing stress and looking for a convivial setting, far from the frenzy of sprawling metropolises. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. Talking about South American areas that are rich in Italian influences, it's natural to wonder, among the places we've seen so far, which one intrigues you the most for its blend of European culture and Latin passion? Tell us in the comments. We're curious to know which charm attracts you the most in this part of the world. 6. Malta. In the heart of the Mediterranean, Malta is a small archipelago where Italian is widely understood. The geographic proximity to our country has facilitated cultural interweaving, so much so that many Maltese people understand our language well. The crystal-clear sea, historic sites like Valletta and Medina, and the mild climate for most of the year make it an irresistible lure for those who like the idea of being in the sun without venturing too far. The small size of the island can be limiting for those who love large spaces or frequently want a change of scenery, and rent prices in the most touristy areas have risen sharply. Nevertheless, it remains a destination that combines the sea, history, and Mediterranean daily life at arm's reach. 7. Florida. Florida immediately evokes sunny beaches, palm trees, and theme parks, but few people know there are rooted Italian communities in various parts of the state. Miami, Orlando, and Tampa are cosmopolitan cities, where a mix of Latin American, North American, and Italian influences is in the air. A significant advantage is found in state taxation. There is no personal income tax here, which appeals to many retirees or workers with income from abroad. However, you must deal with a high cost of living, especially in the most renowned coastal areas. It's a world of contrasts, where luxury resorts coexist with developing neighborhoods, and private healthcare forces you to have insurance plans that aren't always economical. The feeling of living in a perpetual beach vacation is still an irresistible attraction for many. 8. Brazil, São Paulo. Brazil encompasses a myriad of cultures, landscapes, and different economic conditions. São Paulo, in particular, is the largest city in South America and a point of reference for the Italian community that shaped the face of the metropolis during the 20th century. Restaurants, cultural clubs, and familiar surnames reveal our roots, enough to make anyone arriving in search of opportunities feel at home. However, Brazil is also synonymous with complex bureaucracy, social contrasts, and very insecure areas. Those who relocate must carefully study the neighborhood they want to settle in and brace themselves for a few initial hurdles. On the other hand, the creative energy of these people and the vibrancy of local traditions compensate greatly for the more problematic aspects. 9. Eritrea, Asmara. Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, is a unique place where the Italian footprint is still visible in its architecture, its cafes, and partially in its language. Strolling through certain streets feels like reliving colonial history, with Art Deco cinemas and old Italian signs that have stood the test of time. However, Eritrea is not a simple place. Restrictions on freedom of movement, the country's economic challenges, and limited healthcare infrastructure must be carefully considered. It's more of a fascinating cultural travel destination rather than somewhere to relocate casually. Every corner of Asmara tells a chapter of history, sometimes controversial, sometimes enthralling, interwoven into daily life in a way that is hard to find elsewhere. 10. South Africa, Cape Town. Cape Town is one of South Africa's gems. Oceans, mountains, and different cultures converge here, including the Italian one, carried on by families who over time chose to settle in this region. Table Mountain dominates the landscape and provides a backdrop for stunning beaches, lively neighborhoods, and excellent vineyards. However, you must account for a crime rate higher than European standards, in addition to marked social inequalities. Anyone wishing to live here must be well informed and ready to adopt proper security measures. In return, you get a dreamlike natural setting and the chance to experience a one-of-a-kind combination of languages and cultures, with the Italian presence adding an unexpected sense of familiarity. 11. Albania. Located just opposite Italy's coasts, Albania is a country undergoing rapid development. Many locals have been watching Italian television since childhood and understand our language well, developing a special fondness for Italy. Tirana, the capital, is a vibrant and colorful city, where old socialist-era buildings blend with modern districts, trendy venues, and Western-style cafes. The coastlines from Vlora to Saranda offer panoramas that rival more famous destinations. Prices remain competitive, allowing many to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle. The warm atmosphere of the people and their enthusiasm for change make Albania an interesting option, especially for anyone wanting to stay close to the peninsula without giving up a touch of the exotic. We've reached the end of this journey across places around the planet where Italian still resonates, giving a sense of closeness even thousands of kilometers from our country. Each destination has its advantages and drawbacks, from job opportunities to economic stability, climate, and service quality. What truly matters is finding the right combination of factors that meet personal needs. Some seek year-round beach relaxation. Others need an impeccable healthcare system, and some want to immerse themselves in a culture similar to ours but set in a new scene. Before saying goodbye, I want to ask one last question. What was the biggest revelation for you? The place you never imagined could speak our language or guard a piece of Italy? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more adventures and tips about incredible places like these, subscribe to the channel and click like. Thank you for traveling with me. Keep exploring, dreaming, and believing that every horizon can hold a surprise.